स्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्पन्नते anyway.
ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste to all. This is a class on Taittiriya Bhashya, Taittiriya Upanishad, and we were talking last time about the need for the Shanti Mantra, and there are many ways in which the Shanti Mantras are justified by the Acharyas in the tradition. And one thing, we took a little trip, trotted off to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad to look at this to look at this very unique mantra. And 1410, I think it was, and there it is said, what is it said, that the devas get very upset, get little distressed. Devas here means Bhagavan in the form of the presiding deities of various forms and functions, such as the Adhishthana Devata of the eyes, such as the Adhishthana Devata, the presiding deity of strength, etc. So all of them, there is some kind of a synergy going on. You nourish them. How do you nourish them? You give them offerings, Om Pranaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha, Vyanaya Swaha, Udanaya Swaha, Samanaya Swaha, Brahmane Swaha. You give them offerings. And what do? They give you back. They just say, oh, tasty dishes today. All right. May you never stop cooking. And in order to cook, you should be able to see. And in order to offer, you should be able to, your mind should function well. And may you never stop doing, never stop caring for me, because I'm caring for you. You care for me. So these are esoteric energies in the form of, so many things that cannot be named, that cannot be easily objectified or even sensed, but they are there. They are there. And so it is like, what happens is that there is a codependency, a relationship of codependency that one finds that one has developed. Very difficult to stop, to let go of puja. Very, very, very difficult. Tell me to do anything else, but this is very difficult. This is how people think. Especially if one has grown up in the tradition, the conditioning is so strong, I tell you. And it makes sense, It makes sense. And so therefore it makes sense. And therefore what happens is that as a result, we have we have this codependency. What is codependency? Codependency is some kind of a way dysfunctional relationship. You scratch my back, and then I will look the other way and enable certain ways of you, however you are. And then I'm in fact dependent upon your dysfunction in order to thrive. So up till now, we were aware, and we were very proud of ourselves, that we were aware of all these dependencies within relationships that on the empirical level that could be easily identified, objectified, etc. And now this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad mantra is sensitizing us to dependencies in other realms. A spiritual dependency, which is as good as a dependency on spirits. Okay, so this is another form. This is also a kind of a dependency. And here, how is it a dependency? Because, let's not worry about the devas. They are fine. They are okay. After all, if you look at the devatas, who are they? They are all exalted jivas. They are all exalted jivas because of punya vishesha, because of great punya. They have these long lives, and they have they have the status of being devata, etc., etc., etc. And in fact, this is clear to us in Nachiketa. Nachiketa is, he goes to Lord Yama and asks for this knowledge. And Lord Yama is so thrilled with him, such a small boy, and you are so amazing. Because look, I have tried to bribe you. I gave you this boon, I gave you that boon, and I kept trying to, take you away from this knowledge. Because I thought you were too small. And so you would perhaps not be interested and not understand. So I tried to put you, come this side. Putra Pautran Vrinishva. You choose a very strong lineage of children, grandchildren, all these things may you have, may you have, may you have. And what else? Ayuhu, this, you ask for Ayu, long life. You ask for Adhipatyam, a certain kind of a Aishwarya, overlordship, and like a kingly life. I'll give you that. And also, as a bonus, I will send you some dancers and singers from heaven. What will they do? They will, you will be the talk of the town. Nobody will have this kind of dancers. Nobody will have these celestial instruments, nice celestial instruments. Some yakshas, gandharvas, kinnaras, all these beings I will send to you. And what does Nachiketa say? Tavaiva vahaha tavandritya gite. And in a moment of candor, we see Yama, having a nostalgic moment. And he says, Janami aham, Shevadhihi anityam. I know the time-bound nature of this status of being Lord Yama. Yes, it's a life longer than yours, true, but it's not, it's a life longer than yours, but it also is going to come to an end when the yuga, when the kalpa comes to an end. So why did you have this desire to be Lord Yama? I just wanted to be a devata. And then what did you do? I kept doing this yajna that I have just taught you. I kept doing this again and again. And in fact, my wife, Yami, warned me. In fact, she hid the sticks and the sacrificial spoon, the chamas with which it is offered. But still, when she was not at home, secretly I, did that. Like sometimes, people in the stories we hear that people get a mantra and in order to chant, they chant the mantra just out of curiosity. Kunti did that. Mother Kunti was blessed with, the power to gain a child just by chanting a mantra and looking at that particular devata. And so she opened the balcony doors from her palace bedroom, and then she saw the rising sun and said, "Oh, wonder what the child of the sun will look like. Let me chant the mantra." And then suddenly she's holding this crying baby. So whenever mantra is given, there is a natural curiosity. Kya hoga? What will happen? And so therefore, this is how Lord Yama got Yamya Pada. Yamya Pada means the Pada of being Yama. He got this, and then he says, I wish I were like you, Nachiketa. I wish I had said, I don't want this, and I would have straight away got this knowledge. I don't have your Vairagya. I don't have this, he says. So you see, even Lord Yama, that's how we know. Yama, Indra, Varuna, all these are exalted devatas who have been selected in a way, selected within quotes, by the scheme of things called Bhagavan, in order to do certain, in order to help maintain all the laws of the universe. In order to help manifest as the laws of the universe, to maintain the laws of the universe, they are manifestations of Bhagavan. And so therefore, there is some kind of a relationship that is equally dysfunctional, if not more, than the relationships that are there on the earthly plane. On the plane where it can be objectified, the kind of relationships we have in samsara that one has is very much replicated in the spiritual realm also. So therefore what? So therefore, to the devatas, the jivas are like beasts of burden. Just like, it is very amazing, and how do you have these beasts of burden? You basically tame them. You tame them and then you use them as beasts of burden. This is quite fascinating if if you see what I mean. Very, very fascinating. Because you see the elephant. It is huge. It just has to slap you with the trunk and you will go to the next city, you know. And in fact, when we were in Anekatti ashram, and when the Tuskers used to come, though, that's why it's called Anekatti. And the Tuskers used to come. We had to stay in our rooms. We would not come out. And sometimes they would be there all night. They would come in the evening, stay there all night and raid the coconut trees, raid this, shake the coconut tree until something fell, and then raid all the plants and the bushes and then go. And they would always come in groups, 2 or 3 of them. Sometimes there would be a baby. Oh, beware even more if there is a baby, because then the mother elephant isn't far away. So this is the elephant. But this elephant, which just has to trample a person and then the person is gone, instant moksha. This elephant, is shackled, put in temple halls, and taken, and made to be the vehicle of choice for the procession of Maharajas and all these things, and is made to drag 10 times its weight, sandalwood and all this. Why? Because it doesn't know its own strength. It doesn't know its own strength, and therefore it lets itself be sadly domesticated. Same thing like a parrot, which is kept in the house, sometimes cruelly, in a cage. And then you open the doors of the cage, it will not know how to fly away. It will not want to fly away. It has wings. It is glorious. It is free. And it still will not fly away. Chances are, because somehow it is used to this life of give and take. I will say sweet, sweet things with my mouth, and I will talk to the people, and I will say this and that, and in return they will feed me. So this is how the human being becomes helpless, unaware of one's own strength and glory, and allows oneself to be enslaved. This being the relationship, then what would happen? Nothing, no sudden moves, nothing to rock the boat suddenly, because then one is in trouble. So here, if you rock the boat suddenly, then definitely there will be some displeasure incurred. And not nice to incur the displeasure of things you cannot even see, you cannot even objectify. Forces that are there, forces you have been having a certain relationship with, but then, here they are. But the same Upanishad that talks about this dysfunctional setup and how hard it is to get into, to jump from samsara to Brahma Vidya, how difficult it is, also says that, that nobody can be denied this knowledge ever. No one can be denied this knowledge. Why? It is one's own Swarupa. And if it is one's own Swarupa, that means what? It is the Swarupa of those very Devatas. So the knowledge that you are after in your decision to study the Taittiriya or any Upanishad is the same knowledge that which shows that you are the same as Bhagavan. So the Atma of you and the Atma of the Devatas are one and the same. There is no difference at all. No difference. And so therefore, how can they be a force of obstacle? How can they be a pratibandha? How can they be, how can they be an obstacle? So therefore what? The obstacle feeling is because of that internalized dependency. The obstacle feeling is here, like, oh, I'm being thwarted. I don't have freedom. I can't do this. Oh no. This feeling is there, and that has to be shed. And so therefore, this, the prayer, so this gives the Shanti Mantra a very, very, very beautiful, coloring, and a very, very nice way of understanding this. So beautiful. And so the Shanti Mantra basically is smoothing the way after gaining the attention of and the favor of various deities, and saying to them that really, nobody can really deny me this knowledge. I am embarking on this with your help. May you be a source of blessing to me. Why? Because what I am embarking on is your own nature. I am learning to know myself as you, as Bhagavan. And you are a manifestation of Bhagavan. I am a manifestation of Bhagavan, and that is what I seek to know. And so really, you cannot put a, obstacle course in my way. You cannot. You simply cannot. How can you do that? That you are not a source of the pratibandha, because the Atma of me is the Atma of you, is the Atma which is Bhagavan. There is only one Atma. So really, even Bhagavan can't stop you from going on this journey of Brahma Vidya. This is what the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad mantra says, that even though initially they may be inimical to the pursuit, but they can be easily won over by the Shanti Mantras. That is why the Shanti Mantras are so elaborate. And the other beauty about the Shanti Mantras, this one and the one we are going to study, in the next class also, in the night class, which is that Mundakopanishad Shanti Mantra, that also they all have this way of connecting oneself, starting with one's own body, mind, sense complex, connecting oneself to one's surroundings, connecting oneself to the Jagat, connecting oneself to the source of this knowledge, Bhagavan, connecting oneself to the teacher, all this, so that there is this sense of mindful presence, that without being present, this knowledge will not yield prasada. It will absolutely not yield any kind of nothing good will come out of it if one is absent in the process of this. So this is all designed to connect oneself to Bhagavan. And we do this even in the puja, in the Kayika puja, and we do this. In fact, there is a ritual called Nyasa. Nyasa means touching the various body parts and then not invoking but acknowledging the presence of Bhagavan in the body parts. Padayor Vishnus Tishtatu, Kanthe Vasavas Tishtantu, Vaktre Saraswati Tishtatu, Nasikayor Vayus Tishtatu, Nayanayos Chandradityau Tishthetam, Karnayorashvinau Tishthetam, Lalate Rudras Tishthantu, like this. So Padayoho Vishnus Tishtatu, Vishnu, the all-pervasive one, may he reside in my feet, in my legs. Oh, how can I bring Vishnu to my legs? Well, Vishnu is mobility. Vishnu is all-pervasiveness. Vyapakatvat Vishnu. The word Vishnu itself is because of the pervasive nature, one who is everywhere. May I have that same movement. May I also be everywhere. May the legs are powered by Vishnu. So Vishnu is residing, even though we are using the imperative lot, may Vishnu reside in my legs. It is more of an acknowledgement. Tishtatu must be understood as Tishtati. It is there. And and all these things, the Dig Devatas are there and everything, my whole body has the presence of all these Devatas. This is all designed to have this non-separateness. Even the puja, there is a lot of Advaita there. And so therefore, the Taittiriya has therefore there are 3 Shanti Mantras for the Taittiriya, which 2 of which we are going to study in detail. And so this is why they are there, because the message of the Taittiriya has the power to revolutionize the vision, so much so that one is not the same after the study. One is not the same, because one's presumptions about oneself, about Ishvara, about jivas, other jivas, and about the nature of the Jagat is ready to undergo a total transformation. And so, therefore, studying the Taittiriya is like taking a mini sannyasa. It really is. It really, really is. It's like taking a mini sannyasa. And we find this, in the even, why do I say mini sannyasa? Because when in the sannyasa rituals, this is what is done. I'm dropping out of society all the forces. There is 3 days of rituals, asking permission and propitiating all the devatas. Everything. There is a lot of this going on, asking permissions with the sun, with the 5 elements, sun as the witness, and all these things. There is a lot of what should I say, that asking permission, and then being in the right, the praying for being in the right place at the right time. So this is also a similar kind of a prayer. So let us, we have chanted the prayer. Let us look at the prayer. Do you want me to put it up again? Yeah. So we can look at it word by word. Yeah. So here, sham. See, shanno is not a word. It is sham naha bhavatu. Sham bhavatu. And then this, what is this sham? Sham is an indeclinable word, and it has a suffix which is invisible. Usually the suffixes are visible. Here it is kvibanta, so it is invisible. Kvip is the suffix, and as I have said like even in the word Upanishad, we have kvip. What is this kvip suffix? Kvip makes something into an agent. So, kvip means that which equips something to become an agent of whatever this sham means. So what is sham? Sham is mangalam. So, along with this kvip, which does its job and goes away, which is not there at all afterwards, which cannot be discerned. So sham plus kvip is equal to sham alone. Just like the word Upanishad, we don't know that there is a suffix there. So, but there is a suffix there. Kvip is the same suffix. And so what does it do? It makes the word mangalam, sham mangalam, into mangalakrit. The one who is the mangalakari, the one who is the agent of mangalam. Sham mitraha naha bhavatu. That is how we have to understand it. So sham mitraha. So mitraha means, we will see how it is. This mitra is another name for sun, that which guides us during the day. Sham mitraha bhavatu. And then what? Sham mitraha bhavatu means mitraha mangalakrit naha, for us, bhavatu, asmakam. So for us, let it be propitious, auspicious to us. May Mitra be the bringer of auspiciousness. We will see Mitra, Varuna, etc. very quickly, very soon. So then, may Varuna be the bringer of auspiciousness. To whom? To us. And then Brihaspati. May Brihaspati be a source of blessing. To whom? To us again. And then Vishnu, who is Urukramaha. Urukramaha means the one who is everywhere. Uru means Vistirna Gatihi Yasya. Uruhu. So this Uru means the one who has a long strides. And this is from that Vamana Avatara. In the Vamana Avatara, he said to King Bali, the King Bali was very proud of how much he gave, very happy to be known as the big giver. And Vishnu came to take down that ego a few notches and came as a little person. And then he said, came after puja and said, "Oh, I just want 3 steps of land." Everybody laughed. Bali is ready to give you a whole kingdom and you're asking for 3 steps. No, that's all I require. I'm a small man. Okay, take. Where? Anywhere you want. Take. And so, what does he do? 1 step covers the whole earth. The other step covers the rest of the universe. And he says, "Well, you still owe me 1 more step? What will happen? Where will you go? Where will I take this step?" And then King Bali knows what is happening. This is not an ordinary Brahmana coming for some bhiksha. And he points to his head, "Here, take the 3rd step here." And with the 3rd step, this King Bali is put in charge of the nether world, Patala Loka, which is similar to the unconscious mind. And there he is told to rule with compassion, which gives us an idea of how to deal with the unconscious. So like King Bali, we have to be a giving and a compassionate ruler of the parent of the unconscious mind. So anyhow, that is why this is called Urukramaha, the Gati, the pervasiveness of Vishnu is very well known. And so then we have Brahmane Namaha. We'll see all this in detail, but just to get the word meanings. So we go directly to Bhagavan in the form of Brahman. Jagat Karanam Brahma here, Ishwaraya Namaha, Brahmane Namaha. And then, so that is Brahman who is not perceptible, who is not perceptible at all because it is oneself. So when you say Brahmane Namaha, then you look around, where is this Brahman? And then that's why we make it a little more solid and say, "O Vayu, He Vayu, Namaste," and you are indeed a manifestation of Brahman that I can see, that I can feel, that keeps me alive, that goes through my system, oxygenates my blood, purifies everything, removes the toxins. So therefore I declare you to be Brahman, a manifest form of Brahman. And then what else is Brahman? Ritam Brahma Vadishyami. You have to add this Brahma. So this Ritam is that, walking in truth, practicing a certain kind of practicing a certain kind of an integrity between the spoken, between thought, speech and action. So what you think, you say, and what you say you are going to do, you definitely do. Otherwise, in America there is a word for people who don't have this kind of rhythm, and such people are known as flaky. I like that expression very much. Such and such a person is a flake, meaning don't take that person seriously. Don't take his or her words seriously, because they will promise something and not follow through. They will say something and not really mean it. They will think something and then not carry it out. There is no arjavam. Riju bhava is not there. And what is this Riju bhava? An alignment some kind of a yuktata, a coming together of thoughts, speech, and action. So that ability is also Brahman alone. You are that, Ritam is you. Satyam is here, Satya Bhashanam, that is also you. That is also you. And then this, I will declare this all to be you. And may this practices in my life, may Brahman in the practice of truth speaking and living in truth, may it protect me, and may Brahman protect the teacher. And this is, and why is it said twice? For emphasis and for respect of the mantra. And so what this Mitra and Varuna etc. represents, we have a very nice very nice Bhashya here, and we can look into that and see in a little more detail what this Shanti Mantra is all about. So Ramakrishnan ji can repeat after me. Sham Sukham, Sham Sukham,
Sham Sukham,
Pranavrittehe,
Pranavrittehe,
Ahnascha,
Ahnascha,
Abhimani Devatatma,
Abhimani Devatatma,
Mitraha,
Mitraha,
Naha,
Naha,
Asmakam Bhavatu,
Asmakam Bhavatu,
Tatha Eva,
Tatha Eva,
Apanavrittehe,
Apanavrittehe,
Ratrescha,
Ratrescha,
Abhimani Devatatma,
Abhimani Devatatma,
Varunaha,
Varunaha,
Chakshushi,
Chakshushi,
Aditye cha,
Aditye cha,
Abhimani Aryama.
Abhimani Aryama.
Yeah, we'll see up till then. Okay. Yeah. So Sham, as I told you, it's a word that is Mangalakari, Mangalakrit. So let all these things be a source of blessing, all these manifestations. So Sham, he gives the meaning as Sukham, because what is Mangalam ultimately is Sukham. Happiness is Mangalam, really. Happiness is the primary form of auspiciousness. And so this is something which is very, very nice. And so then what is this Mitra? Pranavrittehe ahnascha abhimani devatatma. Very nice. So what is this Mitra? Mitra is a name for sun, and it is the Abhimani Devata in the form of the Atma. Adi Shankara always uses the word, he uses the word Devatatma. It is Devata and it is Atma at the same time. Why? Because of its connection to us. What is the connection to one's own body, mind, sense complex? Because it is the Abhimani Devata, means Adhishthana Devata, the presiding deity. And what is this presiding deity? That which is the Ishvara from the standpoint of the day. Ishvara looked upon from the standpoint of the day, and then that becomes a deity called Mitra, another name for the sun. So he is not only the Adhishthana Devata of the day, but that is from the standpoint of the collective, Samashti. From the standpoint of the Vyashti, the oneself, one's own body, mind, sense complex, then what is that? It's with reference to one's own body, mind, sense complex. It is the function of respiration. The function of respiration happens because of the Aditya Bhagavan. That is the presiding Devata of respiration, especially not just respiration, inhalation. I mean, who knew? It is so sophisticated. So the inhalation happens because of the presence of the sun. So now don't ask the question, okay? Yeah, what is the question? How come I'm inhaling at night? Then if it is only honey, it is only in the day, then how come I'm inhaling at night? Not like that. It is that's why I said it is the Abhimani Devata of the day. It is the presiding deity of the day, and it is also the Atma of this Prana Vritti. That's why it is Devatatma. It is the Atma of this Prana Vritti. Prana Vritti means inhalation, respiration, which is called this Pranavayu. So the inhalation, exhalation, that respiration which takes place is because of the presence of the sun. And then of course it goes without saying that in order to study Brahma Vidya, what do you have to do? The basic minimum qualification is you have to be breathing, you have to be alive, and so therefore this is what it is. And then Tatha Eva, in the same manner, Apana Vrittehe, the function of Apana Vayu elimination, that is connected to the Varuna, who is the presiding deity of the night. Presiding deity of the night from the standpoint of the Samashti, from the total, and from the standpoint of the Vyashti. Vyashti means from the individual body, mind, sense complex. Varuna is the one who removes, who is in the charge of the removal of various toxins from the body, etc., etc., etc. So that is from the, so let the Adhishthana Devata called Mitra, let him be a blessing source, and also the Apana Vritti, the evacuation of all the wastage from the body. Let that what is that? What is the Devata here? Yeah, the Varuna be a source of blessing, and because the night is important because it's a time of recharge and rest, and so for that also we pray to Varuna, because if the sleep is not disturbed, then you wake up recharged, and again you wake up with a happiness to study, to be able to do things. That's what. And Chakshushi, with regard to the Chakshu, eyes, Aditya and Aryama. With reference, the same sun is called Aryama. Chakshushi, Aditya, with reference to the eyes, what happens? The same sun is called Aryama. The Adhishthana Devata of the eyes, the Adhishthana Devata of the entire solar, the eye of the solar system. In fact, if you see some of the NASA pictures, there's one big colorful eye-shaped gaseous, constellation or configuration, and that is called the eye of God. And so the sun here is the eye of the solar system. And then Chakshushi Aditya here with reference to the eyes, with reference to the sun, Vishaya Saptami. And then so this is with reference to the entire solar system, the one who is the Aryama, the form of the sun. May he be a source of blessing. And then Bale Indraha. Bale Indraha. Bale means with reference to strength. Indra, and we have to supply. Sham Naha Bhavatu, we have to supply everywhere. So may Indra be a source of auspiciousness. Indra always is strength, because he is the king of all the devatas. So he has a lot of strength, and so this strength may he bless us with strength. And Indra is the positional name of strength, because he occupies that seat, which is very, very strong position. So may may He give us strength. Then further, Vachi
वाची
Buddhau cha Brihaspatihi
बुद्धौ च बृहस्पतिः
Vishnuhu
विष्णुः
Urukramaha
उरुक्रमः
Vistirnakramaha
विस्तीर्णक्रमः
Padayoho Abhimani
पादयोः अभिमानी
Evamadhyaha
एवमाद्याः
अध्यात्मदेवताः
अध्यात्मदेवताः
शं नः भवतु
शं नः भवतु
इति सर्वत्र
इति सर्वत्र
अनुषङ्गः.
अनुषङ्गः.
Anushangah means connection. Sarvatra means everywhere. Everywhere the connection has to be made. What connection? Sham naha bhavatu iti. So may all these which are named, Vishnu, Indra, Aditya, Aryama, etc., all of them, may they be sources of blessing. That may they be sources of blessing has to be connected, has to be added, has to be brought down. And so then, Vachi Buddhau cha Brihaspatihi. Brihaspati is the king of the guru of all the devatas. Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the presiding deity of the intellect buddhi. No Brihaspati, no buddhi. Really, this is very true. As soon as the child is born, in the Hindu tradition, they first look at where is the guru in the natal horoscope. Okay, yeah, where is the guru? And of course, if the guru is not in the correct place, then lot of pariharas need to be done. Some pujas will be done, and then the child will be told, even as an adult, whoever it is with a weak guru, you go to a gemologist and they will say where this, what is that called? Yellow sapphire. Pukhraj it's called. So yellow sapphire you wear on the index finger. And depending on how weak the guru is, you can find out the person's horoscope even as soon as you talk to them. Because if they're having 2 carat junk on the index finger, then you know, okay, terrible guru placement, poor thing. And so this, the yellow sapphire is like the sun, and that yellow is also the color of guru. So the hope is that the weak guru is buttressed, is made up for a little bit by wearing this gem on the index finger, which is the guru finger, which is the pointing finger. And so very, very interesting. And so therefore, the Vachi Buddhau, actually that's one, Vachi Buddha, 2 words, Vachi and Buddhau, with reference to speech and with reference to what? The Buddhi. Brihaspati is the presiding deity. So that is very, very interesting, very, very nice. Vak and Buddhi, speech. Because really, Buddhi and speech are connected. And later on in this same Taittiriya, a little story about them both is going to be told. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha. So, where the mind here, buddhi included, where the general mind, so where the mind and the speech hatched a little plot. And what did they say? They said they're going to tie up Brahman and bring this Brahman, as showcasing this Brahman. Just like, some wild animal you go to the forest and catch, and then you bring it in a cage, and then put it in the zoo for everybody to come and see. It is behind the bars, and so we will have a new addition to this what is this to this zoo. And then what is this new addition? We are bringing Brahman. Who said? The mind said, and speech said, come, you take me along with you, because after all, we are the greatest of friends. Wherever you go, I come, because who else you can rely on to give expression to all the thoughts that you have? Me. And then I will describe Brahman, and I will do that. You also come, you take me with you. And they both go off in great pride. And then what? They slink back, aprapya, not gaining Brahman as an object. Why? Because it is the truth of oneself. And to know this, we need Brihaspati's blessings big time. Big dollops of blessings of Guru is needed. That is why Adi Guru in the form of Dakshinamurti, people also do this. Like especially if somebody is born with a weak Guru or the Guru in the wrong place, then they say, go to Dakshinamurti temple and then, keep on praying for, because Guru is big, very big. Intellect means what? The ability to think properly. The ability to have the idea of what is the proper action and what is the wrong action. Because wrong action means I can be behind bars for years. One wrong action. So the priorities in life. Okay, this sounds quick, but is a quick fix worth it? This is what Brihaspati tells. Is a quick fix worth it? It is certainly not worth it. How can there be a quick fix for something like this? Because right now it feels like ananda, but then pariname, in the end it will be like visha. It will be like poison. The outcome is maybe a quick fix, but in the overall, in the overall picture, it is affecting me, it is affecting my health, it is affecting others around me. This all is Brihaspati, the Adhisthana Devata of the brain, of the intellect. This is the blessing of Brihaspati, the ability to think correctly. Then another blessing of Brihaspati is to be in the right place at the right time. And some people you find sad but true, wrong place at the right time, wrong time at the right place. What is the use? Or wrong place at the wrong time. No use at all. No use. And that is why the first prayer that is taught to a child in the Hindu tradition, it is called Upanayanam, taking this child to the Vedas. Upa means Samipe. Taking this child to the Vedas, the first one therefore is Gayatri Mantra. Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargaha Devasya Dhimahi. This Bharga from Brij Dahane, the one who burns up all my papas, my omission and commissions. May this burning deity in which is as resplendent as the sun, which is the truth of myself, the self-evident I, which is in the form of Bhagavan. And then the only thing that is asked is Dhiyaha Naha Prachodayat. May our intellect be stimulated to think properly. You see, interesting. We are not asking for good, studies for the child. We are not asking for money or fame or to grow to become some celebrity. No. May I be in the right place at the right time. That is what is Brihaspati. Very, very, very profound to understand this. And so it makes the difference between making it or breaking it. It makes the difference between entering Brahma Vidya and then continuing in Brahma Vidya. One can be an accidental tourist and then just be browsing a class on the Upanishad. But then it connects to oneself, one connects to its message and wants to go on. An accidental tourist dropping into a class. It happens many times. But then how did that happen? With Lord Brihaspati's grace, with the grace of Guru. That Guru is in the form of the principle which allows the proper thinking to take place. So suppose somebody is studying and then since the thought comes, what has happened? Nothing has happened. I think I should go for some kind of dancing, modern dance I should take. When? At the same time as Vedanta class. Why? Because that is going to bring me more, at least I will slim down, if nothing. And here I am not getting anything. This is a conclusion. This is a conclusion based on confusion. And that confusion is the what is that, where the Brihaspati has been overpowered and handcuffed and tied and gagged and bound by the ahankara, by wrong thinking. That is what it is. And so the presiding deity of the buddhi. The buddhi is the one that should be making the decisions. And this becomes very, very important in what is called Purushartha Nishchaya. Nishchaya, ascertainment. Purushartha means what one really wants. This is what is called Purushartha. What one wants. And what is it that one wants? One wants so many things. One thing after another thing, so many things. And then even in the Shastra, that Purushartha is divided into 5 or 6 kinds of things. What is it? What is this Purusha? Four Purusharthas generally are talked about. What are they? What is the first one? Dharma. I want a non-conflictual life. I want a life where I don't have conflict with myself or others. That is why one follows Dharma. And then I want a peaceful life. Then what is the second Purushartha? Artha. Purushartha is Artha. Artha means security. I want security. And one thing that the Bhaja Govindam says about this Artha, Artham Anartham Bhavaya Nityam. Consider this Artha to be the greatest Anartha. Anartha means useless. And so therefore, this security, how secure can you become? If security is something that is supposed to be, you become something, how secure can you become? You can't really become very secure. And so therefore what? So therefore this is, because no matter how much money you have, the insecurity centered on the self does not go. No matter how many friends you have, you want to be more popular. No matter how popular you are, you want to be more famous. No matter how much you do, you feel unaccomplished and useless. So therefore this Artha is security. This again is pursued with great desire. And then Kama. Kama means pleasures, so many pleasures, aesthetic pleasures, some kind of music, painting, dancing, fine arts, and some kind of entertainment. All this is Kama. And then finally, I don't know why, but it is moksha is always the last. Why? Because after finding out life after life after life, I suppose, that you can't be satisfied with these 3, then one looks up. Okay, और कुछ है क्या? Is there anything else to this life? Yes, moksha is seen as Parama Purushartha, the final Purushartha, gaining which there is no need to run after Artha, Kama, etc., because it is all gained in one fell swoop. And so these 4 Purusharthas, this is what is very important. This Purushartha Nishchaya, what are you going to follow? And here too, in our tradition, we have it all packed. And what is that? First few years of life, Dharma. Then after that, Arthakama. And then what? After retirement. And after, when, after becoming Buddha, Buddhi, after becoming old, and after becoming decrepit, then I will look into the Upanishad. Only one problem. What? You don't even remember your own name. That's all. Dementia, Alzheimer's, or some kind of some kind of thing has set in. You can barely remember your own place of living, or your own name. Or let's say your faculties are with you, no problem. But then you are worrying a lot. Poor Brahman, the most misunderstood, never gets a chance to be studied. Never gets the chance to be studied. Again, the same Bhaja Govindam describes this very nicely. What is that? Palitam Mundam, and then Dashana Vihinam Jatam Tundam, Angam Galitam. So the bones are all become what? Melted bones, osteoporosis. You have to be handled with care. Nobody can give you a hug also, because otherwise you'll get 5 or 6, the person will get 5 or 6 fractures. So handled with care. This is old age, described in the Bhaja Govindam. Then what? Then the head becomes a mirror, a reflecting surface for somebody to see themselves. It is no hair, nothing is there. And then what else? And then Dashana Vihinam Jatam Tundam, the jaw is full without teeth. All teeth have either been dropped off or pulled off. So no teeth. And then who is this? Vriddha Yati. The elderly person goes. How? Grihitva Dandam. Catching hold of a stick, slowly, plodding along. And then carrying a huge burden, a knapsack. What is that called in America? Backpack. A huge backpack, already old, already needing a stick, and then a huge backpack. Oh, what does it contain? Life savings? No. Tadapi na munchati asha pindam. So this is the asha pinda, the backpack, which is the huge voluminous what is that, backpack full of all kinds of desires for things that need teeth in order to fulfill, but no teeth, but the desire has not gone. Desire for shampoo. Arey, what will you do with shampoo? You don't even have a single hair, but the desire has not gone. So like this, all kinds of nonsensical desires, and you can't wait. You cannot wait to study Brahma Vidya. It is now or never, really. That's why Adi Shankara in his Bhashya to the Taittiriya Upanishad, I think, in the Bhashya says, Yad aharam vrajet, tad aharam eva pravrajet. Meaning, the day you have a small glimmer, a tiny glimmer of Vairagya, maybe I can just lead a simpler life. Maybe I can just get into Brahma Vidya. Why do I need all these things? And maybe I can just, shed. Remember Upanishad, okay? Yeah, maybe I can shed this. I can just let go of this. I can just do this. Maybe I can do this. As soon as that tiny glimmer of half-hearted thought comes, Adi Shankara says, Tadaharam eva pravrajet. Leave the house that day itself. Meaning don't wait for this thought to what should I say, flower and fruition. It won't, because there are too many non-Brihaspati forces that are killing this Vairagya. So there are, if Brihaspati is allowing this thought to come, then we need a lot more grace. That is why this Shannaha Bhavatu, Brihaspatihi Shamnaha Bhavatu. And of course, when we chant, we have to be careful, because sometimes we let go of this visarga. Shanna bhavatu, we say. Naha, it is not na. Same thing in the Gayatri Mantra. Dhiyo yo naf prachodayat. And then I see people frequently chanting it as Dhiyo yo nap prachodayat. Means, please don't stimulate my buddhi. We have to be careful here. Everything, even the two dots mean something, okay? They cannot be, you cannot suddenly decide to elide them. So here this is, so this Purushartha Nishchaya, very important. The Bhagavad Gita in the 2nd chapter, Lord Krishna says this to Arjuna. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuru nandana bahushakhakhyanantascha buddhayor vyavasayinam yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitah vedavadaratav partha नान्यदस्तीति वादिनः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपराः जन्म कर्मफलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तया अपहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते. What is all this gobbledygook? A very interesting trajectory. if this Vyavasayatmika buddhi, which means Purushartha Nishchaya, which we have been talking about, is not done. If I don't, choose the Purushartha, I will be enslaved by them. I will be enslaved by the first three. The fourth one, which is the only one, is not even in the picture. I find it very interesting because it's just like the waker, dreamer, sleeper. They are all very obvious states. They become evident to me. But the one who is the I, because of whom there is waker, because of whom there is sleeper, because of whom there is the dreamer, is lost, is not evident to me as an object. It is me alone. But that one which is Turiya is not talked about. One is keeping on being just, in the waking state, like this. And so therefore what? So therefore this is what happens. Similarly, Artha, Kama, Dharma shine. Moksha seems to be too far away. Moksha seems to be too far away. Moksha seems to be too far away, and then it is not even in the picture. Therefore, decide what is this moksha. It's not something away from you. It is that fulfillment that you already seek. That is why Brihaspati, it is that fulfillment that you seek. It is that satiation that you seek. It is that satiation that you seek. It is that is what is you need. And all the contentment that you get from dharma, artha and kama, they are pursuits outside of you. So they are by nature finite because they require effort on your part. Whereas moksha is your swarupa, hidden from you. And why is it hidden from you? Because it is hidden from you because you cannot see it. You cannot see it because of self-ignorance. It is as though hidden from you. It has to be discovered with the help of the torch, the flashlight known as the Upanishad, handled by the teacher. Handled by the teacher. So therefore, that is what is very, very, very important here. And so therefore the correct Purushartha, otherwise one will go on, lot of red herrings, false scents, something promises. Somebody says, breathe in and breathe your way into moksha, breathe out samsara, breathe in moksha. So easy. And here you are studying Taittiriya Upanishad. Why? Breathe in moksha. Breathe out samsara. Only give me $750 for teaching this kriya. This is how it is. One falls prey to all these kinds of prophets and all these kinds of ways of gaining something. Because the simple thing here is that it is not about doing, because doing is karma. Karma gives you karma phala. Moksha is not a karma phala. Moksha is you that has to be discovered. So there is, between moksha and karma, there is no connection at all. Absolutely no connection. And so therefore this is what has to be understood properly. And then further, let us see. Where were we? Brihaspati. Vishnu Urukramaha Vistirnakramaha Padayoho Abhimani Evamadhyaha Adhyatma Devataha Shannaha Bhavatu iti Sarvatra Anushangaha. So the Vishnu here, the word Vishnu, as I said, Vyapakatvat Vishnu. So may this Vishnu be a source of blessing, be a blessing source. Why? Because Vishnu is everywhere, all over the place. And may Vishnu's blessings help me to know that I am that all-pervasive Atma. I am that all-pervasive Atma. Let me understand this. Let me see that I am that all-pervasive Atma. And what else? Evam adhyaha adhyatma devataha shannaha bhavatu. So may all these presiding deities, including the ones that are not mentioned here, Adipadat, all these deities, with reference to what? With reference to the functioning of the eyes, with reference to the functioning of the ears, with reference to the functioning of the mind, etc. And you have to add it here. Whatever whenever the Shamnaha Bhavatu is not there, we add it. So here it's a unique prayer because we have the Samashti Adhishthana Devata along with the Vyashti Adhishthana Devata. Samashti means the what's that? Samashti means the total. So total Adhishthana Devata, like Mitra during the day, Varuna the king of the night. And then Vyashti Adhishthana Devata, Mitra, who is blessing me with the capacity to breathe in and out. Varuna, who is helping take away all the toxins in the body. Very beautiful. So that is Vyashti, the Adhishthana Devata with reference to this body. Very, very beautiful. So, Bhavatu Sarvatra iti Anushangaha. And so, Tasu hi Sukritsu Vidya Shravana Dharana Upayogaha Apratibandhena Bhavishyanti iti Tat Sukhakritvam Prarthyate Shannaha Bhavatu iti. So, Tasu hi Sukhakritsu. Only when all these forces, all these devatas are mangalakaris, only when they are when you invoke them as a blessing presence. So this is a what is that called? The absolute locative construction, Sati Saptami. So only when they are happy and when they are a blessing force, then what? Vidya Shravana Dharana Upayogaha Apratibandhena Bhavishyanti. So what Bhavishyanti? Vidya Shravana Dharana Upayogaha. So the Vidya is there. So this Vidyayaha Shravanam, very important, because Shravana, listening, is the way to understand this. Not reading the Upanishad. When you read the Upanishad, what do you get? A headache. That's what you get. Yeah. Because it's not meant for reading. It is supposed to be understood with the help of the teacher who has understood with the help of a teacher. So the parampara and the sampradaya is very, very important in the unfoldment of the Upanishad. And then what? What happens? Then we have it's not enough to have Shravanam. Shravanam today, and then tomorrow what? Blank slate. I'm fresh. I'm ever fresh. Why? Because I'm ever blank. What was said yesterday is gone today. In the Upanishad class, theek hai, sometimes that happens, but in grammar class, we cannot afford that. In grammar study, some kind of recall is needed. Even in Upanishad class, some recall is needed. Otherwise, it will be like that day which just went, Groundhog Day. Keeping on, what is that? Being afraid and then going back and then starting all over again. So therefore, this is what is indicated here. The Brihaspati's blessings are in two forms. First is Medha Shakti, Shravana Shakti, and then Dharana Shakti. Dharana Shakti. This Dharana Shakti means the ability to retain. And then the prayojana of this, it's not enough to retain the mantra. Okay, I have by hearted. I know Shanno Mitrasham Varunah by heart. What is the use if you know it by heart? If you don't understand what is its purpose, and if you are not in touch with that purpose, then you may as well be just repeating Jack and Jill went up the hill. Humpty Dumpty, had a great fall. Same difference, no difference at all. And so therefore the application, the upayoga and the shravana and dharana, see, this is why we love Bhashya. Look at how carefully he is doing each and every word. And so apratibandhena, let it come, and let it come without any difficulty. Let these things come. Therefore, tat sukhakritvam, the deities being a blessing force, the adhishthana devatas of the Vyashti and Samashti, that have brought into being and are deeply connected with the functioning of my own body, let them be a source of blessing, and then let them be, that is why this is prayed for. Prarthyate, it is prayed for by all the Vidyarthis, by the students and the teachers who love this Vidya. This is prayed for. And then more we will see. We'll continue with this tomorrow. One more Shanti Mantra is there before we enter into the text. And if you think we are going too slowly, don't worry, because once we enter the text, it starts with a big bang. And then you don't know whether you are going or coming. It will start very, very quickly. All right, yeah. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadagya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Namaskaram, Swamiji. I don't have this text.
I will put it up again on that same website. You can download it. Yeah, this is what.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, Anushanga, Anu plus Shanga. Why is the Sha? It must be that, what is that? Rashabhyam no naha samanapade. It must be that sutra. Vidyaji, what do you think? It is that, no? Are you there?
I'm here, Swaminiji, but I have to look. I'm not sure.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Swamiji, I have a question.
See, sometimes what happens is that, in the Dhatu Patha, it will be Sha, and then it will become Sa in certain cases, and then vice versa, it will be there. So in certain situations, it goes back to that Sha again. So that is the reason. Okay.
Thank you, Swamini.
Haji, Mishra ji.
Swamiji, I get confused with the word Abhimani. Abhimani, I thought.
Abhimani means, that's why I said Adhishthana Devata, presiding deity.
But it's used many times, Abhimani.
Abhiman matlab, it's a bad thing. It is egoistic. No, it doesn't mean egoistic devatas. No, it means the presiding deity of my breathing, because of which breathing takes place.
And then Varuna is also the lord of water. So
yes, and water again, darkness, water, there is a synergy. It's the, Varuna represents many things.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Sun is also like Mitra is for courage. The courage is also sun. Eyes are also sun in certain ways. So it keeps changing. Yeah. Yeah. Abhimani is, you could say identification, but here Adhishthana Devata would be a better, less confusing, what's its name? Translation. Yeah.
धन्यवाद.
Om Om. See you all tomorrow. Take